Hi, it's day 17 of MCO, and yeah, I've been getting a little bit bored, and I've set up my own home studio. This Mac is from my office. This Mac is actually my brother's and it's really very old already. So I'm gonna do a product review video, which I was supposed to do long ago, but this whole MCO thing started, and I actually did an unboxing video the same night when they announced the MCO. And yeah, I was rushing to take out the stuff and it wasn't done properly. And yes, the thing I'm gonna review is the Edelkrone JibOne. I just got it like on 16th of March. The very same day I returned the 1DX to Canon Malaysia. When this JibOne first came to my door, I was quite surprised because I was expecting it to be a bit longer or bigger. You know, obviously when it came out to me, I was a little bit disappointed. But then again, it's motion control. If you want it to be bigger, then the engine has to be a lot bigger to be able to hold up the entire weight. So there's a reason for its size, and of course, you know, Edelkrone sells precision motion control. So this is why it's designed this way. So in every cinematographer's career, especially if you have touched a jib or a crane, you will definitely know that jibs and crane are not meant to be set up alone. And it's really very dangerous because if you just miscue something on one end, the camera can fall on the other end. Or if you miscue something on the camera, or let's just say you pull out the camera before the weights are being taken care of on the other end, it could just fumble off and the weight will hit whatever's on the other end. Or if let's say you pull off the weight without somebody taking care of the camera, and the camera can just fall straight to the ground. So jibs and crane are not meant to be set alone, but this JibOne, you can set it alone. But having said that, you still need to be really careful. So JibOne has three setups. You can have it up and down, you can have it diagonal, or you can have it flat, and you just move it like this, and it gives that motion of somewhat like a slider, because that sliding motion will give you a curved motion rather than a straight slider kind of motion. I think if you have used a jib, it's pretty much the same. It's just that it has a motion control system. Some of the things that I really like about JibOne, I would say it is perfect for shooting small to medium sized products. And when I say small, I would say like a figurine or even like a pen. And if you say medium, I would say maybe a laptop, an iMac, and you know, anything that's, you know, about that size, small to medium. Why I say that? Because if you were to shoot a car, you might not be able to get the height that you want. So if you want the height from you know, way below the car going up all the way to the roof, then obviously you won't be able to get that. If you're thinking of using this to shoot commercials with human talent, I would say precise commercials would be more suitable. You can have this JibOne to repeat its action over and over again, just so that the talent, whatever the action may be, can practice with it. And sometimes you don't have to roll it, you just have to, you know, just practice the hand movement and stuff, or whatever it is. If it's the talent moving from one end to another end, then yeah, it could be right. So that's what I meant by precise commercials. Then of course you have one thing less to worry, which is a very big thing, the cameraman. Let's just say if it's an action or punching kicks and a lot of tumbles here and there, maybe this is not the right equipment, because this is very preset kind of a motion. So you can't exactly have it move immediately to where you want it or how you want it. And yes, one of the reasons why I bought the JibOne is because it can handle the weight of the Canon C200. Some of the things that I don't like about this JibOne, I was a little bit disappointed when I just got it and I set it up, because I thought like, oh wait, where's the function of this? And I thought I could get this when, you know, the whole thing is done. And I thought like, wow, if you got this would be amazing. It could be the cheaper version of the cinematic robotic arm, but of course it's just missing this one thing, and that missing thing is the missing axis. So let me just try to explain this. So jib 1 can go up and down, it can go diagonal, and it can go left and right, but it can't pan. So it's pretty weird. If you have operated a jib before or a crane, especially if you're operating from way behind those big ass crane, right, you'll be able to move up and down like that. That means a diagonal up and down like this. You can move however you like it, all the way, even a circle if you want to. And the most basic movement is the lazy 8 or the infinity. So basically, you just go motion like that. But for jib 1, it's missing that axis where you can turn and move diagonal at the same time. Yes, they compensate it by allowing you to lock the whole jib into a certain angle, and that becomes your movement, but it doesn't give you the flexibility to turn all you want, and that is a problem to me. But then again, most of us who have operated a jib would know this. This is definitely a missing axis. I'm pretty sure Edelkrone will sell something additional, because their nature of business is giving you add-ons to buy, which is pretty damn expensive. They give you add-ons to buy, add here, add there. They give you one extra feature if you buy this, they give you one extra feature if you buy that, and I'm pretty sure Edelkrone is going to add one more thing. So example, a head one, you put right above the tripod and then the jib right on top of it, and if this head one can sustain the entire weight of this whole thing, then yes, you get the extra access, and your entire your app will be able to move that whole thing around. But I think Edelkrone has not developed this because their head one can't sustain this weight, and probably they will in the future. I'm not too sure when, of course, but and if they do provide this, or they do sell this, means people like us who has bought the jib one will definitely need to buy that, because we definitely need that access. Or maybe they're not, because you think about it, if they are planning to do that, then why did they allow you to go diagonal this way and go sideways like this? So I'm not too sure what Edelkrone is going to do about that. Same concept and same application applies to jib 1. If it's not perfectly balanced on either one of the end, the engine has to work a lot harder so that it can move. If it's not balanced properly, the engine has to stress, very much like the operator. If the crane is not balanced properly, or the jib is not balanced properly, then the operator has to put up more strength just to move it, or to counter it, or to stop it. I played with it quite a bit already, and sometimes if I don't balance it perfectly, the jib still can move pretty well, but it has to be like at a much higher speed, above 80% or 100%. If it's balanced perfectly, then you can move much slower. And I've tried to balance this whole thing like to the best that I could, and the slowest speed I could go was 5%. And sometimes at 5% from a different point to a different point, it doesn't move perfectly, or even at a different angle. But the slowest I've been is 5%. But I would say 10% is perfect with my jib 1, Head Plus, EOS R 24105. 10% is the slowest that I can go. And I think this doesn't apply just to jib 1, it applies to all the jibs and cranes. If you're using a lens that is more than 50 mm, basically a more zoomed in frame, you can't have your point A to point B very far apart. Meaning your point A is the lowest angle, or the lowest point of the jib, and then you can't have the point B at the highest end of the jib. You can't just have 2 points. Reason is because the jib and the Head Plus is just told or assigned to just go from point A to point B. It won't know that it has to maintain the subject in the frame all the way. So if you were to do that, you need to have a point right in the middle, or maybe 2 points right in the middle if it's way too long. You can't use this for event videos, I would say. If you were to set up this whole thing, I would say it takes about 5 minutes or less if you're really very fast and you're really strong. To set up this whole jib and to put out a camera and all that. But if you were to shoot an event with this, then imagine running around with this whole thing, putting it up, taking it down, running around again, putting it up again, just to get the shot. I would rather you just use a Ronin S or something. I would rate the JibOne a 7 out of 10. So why 7? If Edelkrone has given that extra axis, either separately as an add-on or even together as one package, I would immediately give it a 10. Of course, the rest of the points, I would wish this would be a lot longer, maybe 10 feet. But the reason why I bought this is mainly precision motion control. That's what I really need. But is it worth buying for product shots or commercials? Or even green screen? I mean, you just make sure you have all the tracking points all around. Is it worth buying? Yes, 100%. But yeah, this is the JibOne. It's pretty cool. It's pretty damn heavy. And if you know me personally, this is actually quite small. This is the maximum length it can stretch to, and yeah, it can barely fit the video. But yeah, so that's it for my first review video. I actually have a lot more, but it's just that the products are getting old and I don't really feel like talking about it anymore. But I do have another one that is pretty cool, that I managed to bring it home before this movement control order or lockdown happened. Laowa 24mm probe blends. I'm at home and I don't really have much stuff to shoot, but I'll try to show you some sample footage or photos with this. This is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.